Okay, so I'm priming a 392 cubic inch early Hemi. I have absolute top dead center marked on the crank pulley, and I'm attempting to find the rotation on the 2 and 4 cam bearings to be able to push oil through the rocker shafts. So as you can see, this one's just started to come out now. This is the drill I'm using, and of course I have it down here on the oil pump to do the priming. Now, so basically you put this in here, turn the shaft, and you'll see the oil come up. So you do that, and the way I found this one was, you'll watch it hit, it'll hit 65, 70, get a nice steady stream. I turn the drill on speed 1, and then turn the crank slowly. Anyways, I haven't got the passenger side yet, but the point that it hit, it looks to be, this is 90 degrees from top dead center. This would be 120, and there's bottom dead center is right here. So somewhere between, it looks to be, what would that be, 110? 110 degrees off of top dead center. And I bet the next one is probably going to come over here off of bottom dead center. So yeah, actually you can tell, one thing is if you turn, you'll see the number 8 cylinder is up pretty close, and then the number 5 cylinder is up. I believe the number 5 cylinder is the highest. I don't know if it's top dead center, but anyways, you'll see that the number 5 cylinder is up pretty high. You can't see it there, but it is. Anyways, that's the basic idea. I'll see how the next round goes. Okay, so the second point, which is the passenger side head, the timing mark will be about 5 degrees past top dead center. It looks like this is exact top dead center. Sorry, it's fuzzy. This is exact top dead center. This isn't somehow there's, I think the factory setting is like 7 degrees off from, but this is exact top dead center. Now maybe my mark is off. Maybe this is actually perfect top dead center, but anyways, you can see the oil coming through now. I actually marked my crank now, so when I'm about ready to start it, I don't have to take the valve covers off, and I can just fire it up and go. Anyways, what you do though is you put the crank in, you put the drill in here, and you'll turn it up, and you'll see the pressure come up. And that's how you fire it. Like I said, I watch it, and then if you turn it, you'll hear a, when you hit them, you'll see them pop. You'll feel the pressure go. Anyways, that's the that's how you prime a Hemi. Okay, one thing I wanted you to notice is the actual cam bearings. This is an actual front cam bearing. You won't see any, obviously there's no oiling holes here. But the next 3 cam bearings are the ones that have the oiling holes. You'll see that's the main center one that's going to be at the bottom, and then these 2 here are the oil holes that go to the heads. Now these 3 all have them. I think they just do them out of safety because you obviously don't want to have, I know you're supposed to, I think, chamfer these. They said something about the manual, you need to chamfer these a little bit. So you'll see all 3 of these, and this is the back one. Obviously there's that large main oiling hole. So you'll see these 3 always want to be safe, and they always include those 2. You'll see it's a perfect Y, so the oil's gonna come out this way, and this, as the cam comes around, it'll go out that way, and then it'll go out that way. And I think you'll see that with the timing of where these timing marks are. So that's another hint. This is some more information about the priming, I guess priming issues, or how oil gets around. This is an example of the 2 different types of stands you get for the oil. Oil comes up here, goes over to the different rocker shafts. Anyways, there's 2 different types. There's the drilled from the bottom and drilled from the top. Drilled from the top are the real easy to make sure they're unclogged. Basically, you're looking out for this round rings that gets inserted here to locate the rocker stands. So what happens is they drill from the bottom, they have to kind of converge. They come up, and then it comes up with the hole and then converges. But sometimes what happens is they say it's a little too close to this ring that they've shoved up here, and it's kind of makes a small opening, and the oil won't get through very easily, and they get clogged. So you got to make sure you do some work around here. This one, which is the drill from the top, is it's a kind of a clean shot that has to come over that bar. So they say it's easier to clean, and they talk about it here. And then they talk about like how the different ones are. Like this one, the oil goes up in and comes through here, and this one goes around. It says around that. I don't know how that works, but anyways, this is just a hint. Is just when you're cleaning these things, when you're gonna prime, and you got to get these. If you're having problems with blocking, is one thing is to check these stands. Obviously, you want to check them before you put the engine together, but that's just a hint. So this is just another piece of info. I don't know about the Dodge or the DeSoto Hemis, what their cams look like. I would assume it's the same, but I'm not. You know what happens when you assume. Obviously, if you're building a Dodge or DeSoto and you're look at your cam bearings, look at your cam, and you can kind of compare to what I'm going to present, and it should give you the same. You should be able to figure out if it's going to work for you or not to prime your engine. So that's it. Okay, one other final note. Looking at hothead Hemis, they have a cam, and it kind of, I guess, confirms what I thought is you're always going to see the cams. Actually, this is the keyway, and I'm not sure if that's top center, but anyways, it looks like from the keyway, these oiling holes are slightly off. I don't know if that actually matters. It doesn't actually. It matters where the holes in the bearings are. So what happens is it hits the one bearing, and it hits the one bearing on, and then it hits the other one. So it comes around. It's going to shoot it a little bit in the left bank first, and then it's going to shoot a little bit in the back bank for this. Sorry. It's going to shoot the back bank first, and then the front bank, then back bank, front bank. So every time it goes through, it squirts a little bit into the passenger head, and then it squirts a little bit in the driver's head. A little bit in the passenger, a little bit in the driver's. So it's constantly kind of a dribble. It's pretty funny. I'm curious how they determined. Well, I guess with RPMs, it's going to increase. But that's what that's Hothead Hemis has a picture of a cam, Hemi cam. It says DeSoto, but like I said, I think if you're putting your engine together and you have your cam out, you might want to take a look to see if this is the case. Maybe leave a comment or something. I believe this is going to be always the case, is they're always going to be aligned. I think I've always seen Hemi cams have those same two oiling holes lined up. So just another bit of info.